Chapter 81. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The eyes in the sky glowed with a hazy red light, staring at the direction of Jiang Chen, and a huge red laser came in an instant. Jiang Chen used all his strength to activate his observation haki, and the beam seemed to be slowed down under his perception. The 100-meter dragon body kept circling and twisting, avoiding the deadly rays. The beam hit the ground, and the building exploded and disintegrated. Under the violent explosion, all humans and nightmare monsters were devoured. Jiang Chen. Stop shaking, I'm carsick. Qinglong's face turned pale, his eyes were full of stars, and his hands holding the sword trembled slightly. He and Tang Shasha kept sweeping the incoming nightmare sub-body with sword energy. Lin Hao, ugh, on the scarlet full moon, a tiny crack appeared after being attacked. Jiang Chen, look, it works. The crack has been created. The sharp-eyed Tang Shasha shouted hurriedly. Good opportunity. The giant dragon that was running rampant in the sky shuttled through the dense red light and went up against the sky against the blood-red beam. The beams of light that passed by made a whistling roar. Qinglong and Tang Shasha's hearts were in their throats. The nearest beam of destruction was only a few centimeters away from them. The scorching hot breath almost made them unable to open their eyes. Life and death are all in Jiang Chen's hands. If one prospers, all prosper. If one suffers, all suffer. Jiang Chen. You'd better dodge to the maximum. Qinglong screamed and tightly grasped Jiang Chen's fingernails. Tang Shasha also pursed her lips and held on in the fierce and whistling wind. Lin Hao, ugh, Jiang Chen, who turned into a blue dragon and flew at high speed, had his eyes red as blood as his observation haki was highly running. Break through layers of interception. Successfully reached the edge of the crack. The dragon swings its tail. With the powerful inertia, Jiang Chen turned around and drifted, and the powerful armament haki was poured into the dragon's tail. Straight on the crack. The terrifying brute force that could destroy a city and break a mountain directly blew up the crack. It turned into a dark passage. The whole town let out a wail at the same time. Success! A milky white light emanated from the passage, and a gentle and pure breath swept across the entire town. The whole town was disintegrating and collapsing, and the body of the nightmare demon was turning into ashes. Jiang Chen only felt that he was wrapped in white light. When he opened his eyes again, his body had already landed on the ground. Birds chirped and flowers bloomed, and the grass was lush. Not far away stood a Taoist temple, Jisho Temple. If it weren't for the survivors who were left and dead everywhere, there would really be a sense of paradise. Escaped. A kneeling survivor covered his face and cried. There were also survivors in groups of 3 or 2 who kept searching among the corpses, trying to find their familiar faces. Tang Shasha also found the figures of her brother Tang Feng and Xiao Yu among the broken corpses. That's good. You lovers finally get married. You may not sleep together in life, but you may die together. Tang Shasha sighed sadly. The struggle between humans, monsters and fog monsters has always been so cruel. Every freshman who enters the university campus must undergo a bloody trial in the fog, led by a strong man, and the freshmen follow and watch. But even so, the mortality rate and uncertainty are quite high. For example, under the protection of the master of the temple, who is one of the 8 supremes, only Tang Shasha and Qinglong survived. An old man with a fairy-like appearance came. Master. Greetings, teacher. Tang Shasha and Qinglong stepped forward to salute. Tang Shasha, as the master's personal disciple, is a disciple recognized by the master, while Qinglong is just one of the students in the university where the master works part-time. I thought that after a year, you all had died in the hands of the nightmare demon. Well, it's good that you will have good fortune after surviving a disaster. The master Qinglong smiled and spoke lightly. Tang Shasha also told her experience of the past year. Then the master came to Jiang Chen. Are you Jiang Chen? The master looked Jiang Chen up and down, his eyes flashing, as if he had encountered a rare treasure. Yes, master, if it weren't for him, we might have been wiped out this time. Tang Shasha lowered her eyebrows and whispered. Junior Jiang Chen, I pay my respects to the master. Jiang Chen saluted with his fists, neither humble nor arrogant. Very good. Your divine aura is restrained, your essence is overflowing, and your sea of qi is full. You have polished your realm to this point. No one in the same realm is your opponent. You are now famous all over the world and are known as the strongest genius of the new generation. Even I have heard of the name of Qinglong Jiang Chen. What? The strongest genius. Tang Shasha and Qingxian's jaws almost dropped to the ground. Is it that they have been disconnected from the internet for only a year or that the times are developing too fast? The strongest genius? Qinglong Jiang Chen. I have never heard of him. Senior Liao Zhan, it's just some insignificant talent. Jiang Chen waved his hand modestly. Not worth mentioning, I just accidentally the realm was polished to the extreme, and the domineering spirit was awakened accidentally. Fortunately, I got the strongest fantasy beast Qinglong fruit. It was all because of everyone's face, not worth mentioning. After all, I'm just an 18-year-old boy. Qingxian and Tang Shasha looked at Jiang Chen's Versailles with dull eyes. Ha ha ha, interesting little guy, you rescued my useless disciple and the lives of these people, I owe you a favor. This is my book world, you can rest here for a day, and I will send you to Qinqing tomorrow. Then, thank you, master. Jiang Chen suppressed his joy in his heart. He got a favor from one of the 8 great masters in the world. This is something that many people want but cannot get. If he spreads this sentence in the future, he can do whatever he wants. Who dares not to give me face? Thinking about it, Jiang Chen was a little excited. Master, since you value Jiang Chen so much, why don't you recruit him as a disciple? Tang Shasha handed the brewed tea to the old man. Master, are you such a superficial person who only looks at talent? He is too sharp, ambitious, and hard to tell good from evil. As a teacher, I have a connection with him but no destiny. He is not my ideal candidate for disciple. TSK, he may not be interested in you, master. There is no shortage of people to recruit a genius like Jiang Chen without outsiders. Tang Shasha completely let herself go and laughed with the master. I heard from my junior brother that you have taken a fancy to a young man named Fang Rong, right? Lu Yun, this kid, is so careless. Master Chen Qingxian took a sip of tea and scolded with a smile. He is just a candidate. If he can pass my inquiry, he will naturally become your future junior brother. Jiang Chen, who was in the room, sat cross-legged on the bed with a look of joy in his eyes. The terrifying fog monster nightmare was far more powerful than Jiang Chen could resist now. It can be called a powerful monster of disaster level. The realm corresponding to the so-called disaster level is similar to that of the human master. As a fog monster, it is much stronger than the ordinary master of human beings. He was seriously injured by the master. But Jiang Chen also made up for it. Maybe it was due to luck. Jiang Chen's last move, the dragon's tail swing, just happened to catch up with the end of the nightmare demon's life. Naturally, the system determined that he was killed by Jiang Chen. Under the multidimensional deprivation, Jiang Chen plundered a lot of domineering proficiency. Nearly 1,000 points. It's a big profit. It's a pity that there is no broken mirror. Jiang Chen added all his proficiency to the observation haki, and immediately the observation haki level broke through to the intermediate level. Intermediate, you can passively sense the breath of others from a long distance by looking directly at places that cannot be reached. Name, Jiang Chen, race, human, level, black iron, basic attributes, strength, 1000. Speed, 1000. Defense, 1000. Life, 1000. Energy, 1000. Spirit, 1000. Spirit, 1000. Life recovery, recover 1 point of life per second, devil fruit, fish fruit fantasy beast blue dragon form, fruit development degree 10%, armament haki, primary, 0/1000, observation haki, intermediate, 0/1000, overlord haki, primary, 0/1000, affected by the superdimensional body talent, can 100% conversion of divine attributes into total domineering, physical skills, shaving, intermediate, 50/1000, iron block, advanced, 0/1000, paper drawing, intermediate, 300 out of 1000, moon step, intermediate, 0/1000, mist kick, intermediate, 40 out of 1000, gun finger, advanced, 400 out of 1000, basic stick technique, advanced, 0/1000. Although Jiang Chen secretly thought it was a pity that he did not break the mirror, he found that depriving the fog creatures seemed to be more helpful to his domineering. Whether it was the former human-faced moth or the current nightmare demon, they all proved their bonus in domineering. It seems that if you want to continue to improve your domineering, hunting fog creatures is the key. Chapter 82. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Layman, it's time to eat. A little Taoist boy in a Taoist robe knocked on the door and led Jiang Chen to the temple. Jiang Chen woke up the dizzy Lin Hao and took him to the dining hall following the Taoist boy's steps. At the dining table, Tang Shasha and Qinglong had been waiting for a long time. Seeing Jiang Chen's arrival, they stood up with a smile on their faces, in order to thank Jiang Chen for rescuing them before. Tang Shasha and Qinglong specially prepared a table of wine and food to show their gratitude. Oh, you are finally here, the great genius who is not worth mentioning. Please sit down. Tang Shasha teased and pulled out 2 chairs for Jiang Chen and Lin Hao to sit down. Brother Jiang, I was overestimating my own ability and provoking you before. I am very ashamed. I will punish myself with 3 cups of wine. I hope you will not remember my mistakes. Qinglong picked up the wine glass and raised her head to drink 3 cups of wine in a row. It's just some insignificant little things. Jiang Chen waved his hand and didn't care. Lin Hao was a little uneasy and pulled Jiang Chen's sleeve and refused to let go. Seeing this, the Taoist boy Lu Yun smiled and grabbed Lin Hao's hand. In the blink of an eye, a butterfly appeared from his palm and handed it to the little boy. They are chatting, boring, little brother, let me play with you. After all, they are just children. Lin Hao was attracted by Lu Yun's move for a moment, and the butterfly danced around Lin Hao. Jiang Chen was also amazed at the scene he made out of nothing. Jiang Chen, don't be fooled by him. The world of the heavenly book is a world full of fantasy. The old master of the temple just gave him a higher authority, which can directly make things happen as he wishes. Tang Shasha curled her lips and looked at the little junior brother in the distance, who was having fun with the little boy, with lotus flowers blooming one step at a time, dragons and phoenixes following one another, and strange phenomena constantly appearing in the distance. She said a little jealously. Oh. Then this table of food? It may also be fake. Tang Shasha's eyes dodged. Actually, when the fake is real, the real is also fake. Who can tell the real from the fake? At least, here, the taste, the filling of the stomach, the replenished energy, are what you can really feel, so what does it matter whether it is real or fake? It sounds a bit reasonable. Jiang Chen looked at the table of delicious food with color, fragrance and taste. This master of the temple has probably reached the pinnacle in the development of the shu fruit. He can materialize fantasy things to this extent, and it is difficult to distinguish between the real and the fake. No, you invite people to dinner, so you get it for free, right? Hee hee. The old master of the temple is one of the few strong people in the world who has developed the fruit ability to the awakening realm. Jiang Chen, just tell me what you want to eat, we can make it for you here. Tang Shasha changed the subject and urged Jiang Chen to taste the food well. This cake tastes good. What's its name? It's chewy and fragrant. It's like being in a green meadow surrounded by herds of cattle and sheep. Jiang Chen picked up a piece of biscuit and chewed it carefully. You have good taste, brother Jiang. This is a specialty of Zhu, cow dung cake. Pfft. Jiang Chen spat out the food in his mouth. Cow dung cake. Don't be scared by its name. Tang Shasha picked up the food calmly. just like there is no wife in the wife cake, there is no cake in the cow dung cake. Oh, is that so? Isn't it just cow dung? Jiang Chen, who was relieved after hearing the introduction, suddenly came back to his senses and his face changed immediately. Tang Sha chuckled, I'm kidding you. This cake is actually just baked with clean cow dung as fuel. Don't worry about eating it. It's clean and hygienic. Hee hee. Jiang Chen lost his appetite for a moment. He glanced at the two people who were eating happily and spoke softly. Tang Sha, although it's a bit presumptuous to say it, but I want to say that although your brother is dead, the ancient martial arts he owes me still need to be repaid by the brother. Hearing this, Tang Sha was choked and immediately lost her appetite. With a droopy face, why did she mention him so seriously? Don't worry, although he is dead, I will pay his debt. Oh, then what powerful ancient martial arts do you know? Hee hee, you still want to choose. This ancient martial arts is not about what you want, but about me. What do you have? I only have one copy of the Tianjiao. Do you want one? After mastering it, you can jump high up, as agile as a swimming dragon. When you are exhausted, you can use one foot to exert force, without the help of any objects, and you can rise again by rotating your body. If you do this again, you can repeat it over and over again. It sounds interesting. What is the difference between this and the moon step? The moon step is a method of strengthening the body, which emphasizes breaking through the limits of the body and forcibly flying in the air based on its own strong physical strength and strength. Strengthening the body is its essence. The ancient martial arts Tianjiao is a pure light skill, which emphasizes the use of clever force to achieve the purpose of flying in the air. The difficulty of Tianjiao is much simpler than the moon step. When you enter university in the future, you will know that those students with prominent family backgrounds and who have mastered countless ancient martial arts before entering university can almost beat those who only mastered the ancient martial arts in the same realm. An ordinary student who only knows the 6 styles. Humph, it's just a trick. Deep Blue adds points. Jiang Chen said disdainfully. Heh, do you think everyone is as perverted as you? Tang Sha curled her lips. At this time, Qinglong seemed to have drunk too much and slapped the table, staring at Jiang Chen with red eyes, as if to eat him. Brother Jiang, since the last defeat, I knew you were not an ordinary person. I didn't expect that you are now a world-famous young genius. I admire you very much. If you don't give up, I would like to worship you as my brother. I am willing to die for my brother. Don't come on, don't do this to me. You are learning from Lu Bu, right? The nickname conflicts with me. You are still a college student. Hee hee, there is no order of learning, and the one who is accomplished is the teacher. I can change it. Flying Dragon Swordsman. Blue Dragon Swordsman. It's all right. Qinglong scratched her head. Tang Sha also said, it's normal, Jiang Chen. University is not a harmonious, friendly, peaceful and stable place. It is a place to cultivate talents to fight against monsters and fog. Death is also common, all resources in it must be fought for by yourself. The strong will go up and the weak will go down. Many people will choose to keep warm together, or create their own forces, or join the strong. Qinglong chose you just because she thinks you're stronger and will definitely dominate in the university in the future. Jiang Chen, choose our Zhongwu University after the college entrance examination. It is our Dehan Alliance 996 and 007 double first-class university. The so-called 996 is the plan proposed by the Han Alliance in 996 years after the disaster, which is more than 100 years ago, to build a group of the best universities in the alliance. After more than 100 years, the times have changed, and universities have been destroyed, declined, or merged. Every 996 university that exists now is a century-old famous school, and the number is rare. 007 is even rarer. It is the plan of the Han Alliance to build 7 world-class universities decades ago. It can be said that the universities ranked in 007 are the highest-level universities in the entire Han Alliance. It is the dream that many young Han students desire but cannot reach. Zhongwu University is one of them. Its strength is almost in the top 3 in the entire university ranking. Wow! I was almost scared to death when I suddenly heard these familiar numbers. 996, I thought it was going to work at 9 in the morning and getting off work at 9 in the evening, working 6 days a week. I dare not even think about 007. Jiang Chen couldn't help but think of the world he used to be in. He shuddered and muttered. Chapter 83. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What do you think? Choose our Zhongwu University. You want ancient martial arts, right? I dare say that among all the institutions of higher learning, Zhongwu University must be the university with the most comprehensive collection of martial arts. Our Zhongwu University is second to none in the research of martial arts and physical skills among all universities. Tang Shasha looked at Jiang Chen excitedly, and had to admit that if she could get Jiang Chen into Zhongwu University, with his strength, she might be able to benefit from it in the future. Consider it later. Jiang Chen said indifferently. Brother is right, you have to consider the school carefully, and you have to choose the one that ranks first. Cheng Xin. Are you still a student of Zhongwu University? How can you talk like that? What's wrong? As long as brother is willing, I will drop out and retake the exam with him. 6. Don't try to get close to me. You want to get along with me, but you don't even have a token of loyalty. You are too insincere. Jiang Chen snorted coldly. I'll obey you, brother. I'll die. Really? I have an enemy, the Hao family. Their young master is called Haosei. Go get his head and show me what you can do. Qingqing Supervisory Office Headquarters. Master, Lord Hao Nyobai, has been out of touch for many days since he and Governor Duan of the Blood Wolf Group went to the wilderness outside the city. Hao Gang's top think tank, Secretary Song, reported to Hao Gang with a worried look on his face. Have you checked it out? Jiang Chen didn't take the bait. We have investigated the people and background around Jiang Chen. He has a younger brother named Zhang Wei, who is confirmed to be a superhuman imitation fruit user. After several days of observation, Zhang Wei and Jiang Chen have never appeared at the same time. We have reason to suspect that Jiang Chen has already taken the bait. He and Lord Hao Nyobi and the main members of the Blood Wolf Group disappeared in the vast wilderness. The wilderness is inherently dangerous. Maybe they encountered an emergency and were trapped. Go and test it. As long as Jiang Chen is dead, it's fine. Hao Gang's cold voice sounded. On the street, Gu Qingying was holding Jiang Xiaoxiao's hand and sending her home. In a nearby luxurious black car, Haosei leaned back on the seat, staring at the backs of the two with cold eyes. It's been so many days, Jiang Chen, I don't believe you're still alive. Mr. Rattlesnake, please, that little girl is the target this time. I want to make sure that all of Jiang Chen's loved ones have a bad ending. Haosei turned his head to look at the masked and red-robed man sitting next to him, and signaled his men to pick up a suitcase. After opening it, there were neatly stacked baileys inside. This is 1,000,000 baileys. As for the remaining balance, I will deposit it into your account after the matter is completed. The Black Heart Society cadre, the man codenamed Rattlesnake, checked the suitcase, closed it, and spoke in a stiff tone. Don't worry, Mr. Hao, it's just a small matter, not worth mentioning. We are professionals in making a person disappear without anyone noticing. Sister Yingying, why are you walking so fast? I can't walk anymore. Jiang Xiaoxiao pouted and looked at Gu Qingying, who suddenly accelerated and dragged her away, not caring about her little arms and legs at all. Gu Qingying, with a serious look on her face, secretly picked up her phone and sent a message while dragging Xiaoxiao to a crowded place. Xiaoxiao, we are being followed. Hold on to me. Ah. Where is it? Xiaoxiao was immediately panicked and swayed left and right. Don't look, follow me. Gu Qingying held Jiang Xiaoxiao's swaying head, fearing that she would attract the other party's attention. For a moment, she didn't notice that she bumped into a hip-hop youth who was wearing headphones and shaking his head. Gu Qingying only felt a tingling pain, and the young man was caught off guard and bowed to apologize, and then left quickly. Gu Qingying, who felt something was wrong, didn't think about it, rubbed the arm that was hit, lifted her sleeves and saw a wound as big as a pinhole on her arm. Not good. Qinglong thought to herself that it was bad and turned her head to look in the direction of that person, and a feeling of dizziness suddenly came over her. A white van drove in front of them, and 7 or 8 men, women, old and young got out of the car, grabbed Qinglong and Jiang Xiaoxiao's arms without saying anything, and shouted. Qinglong. Look at you two. It's just that the fruit awakening failed, and you took your sister away from home. It's really too much. Go back with Mom. As he said that, he was going to drag the two into the van. No. We don't know you at all. Let me go. Woohoo. Jiang Xiaoxiao yelled, struggling with her legs and feet. Qinglong forced herself to ask for help from passers-by around her. Save me. For a while, the onlookers pointed and talked, and soon a crowd gathered. Excuse me, this is my daughter Qinglong, the senior high school student of Qingqing No. 1 middle school. The little girl ran away from home for several days because she was in a bad mood. I was worried about her. The old woman burst into tears and kept explaining to the onlookers. What these people said was reasonable and well-founded, and from time to time there were people who stood up to express their knowledge of the information the aunt said. For a time, everyone condemned the two girls for running away from home and making their relatives worry. It's okay, aunt, it's normal for children to have a rebellious period. Fortunately, it was discovered early, otherwise it would be very dangerous for the two girls to be outside. If they met human traffickers, it would be terrible. These two little girls are too ignorant. More enthusiastic people joined in and reached out to help the people in the car push Qinglong and Jiang Xiaoxiao into the car. Qinglong looked desperate, and the dizziness in her mind became heavier, and her eyelids could hardly open. Chapter 84. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As the door closed, the van drove away, leaving behind a crowd of onlookers who patted their chests in satisfaction, saying that today was another day of doing good deeds. In the van, the men, women, old and young immediately changed their faces, their expressions became sarcastic, their eyes fierce, and one of them took the tape and rapped Jiang Xiaoxiao's mouth. It was the hip-hop boy from before. Another person picked up the phone. Sir Rattlesnake, the target has been captured. How should we deal with them next? The man glanced at Jiang Xiaoxiao and Qinglong, and said respectfully to the other end of the phone. The little one, the employer said that she should feel pain, so sell her to the SA contracting organization. As for the big one, you can deal with it yourself. The person on the other end of the phone casually decided their fate, and life seemed to be just a trivial matter in his eyes. Yes. Sir Rattlesnake. The man put down the phone in his hand, smiled with a pointed face and monkey cheeks, and looked at the two controlled girls. He, if you want to blame someone, blame your bad luck. You offended someone. You too will suffer in the future. Qinglong had already fallen into a coma. Jiang Xiaoxiao's face was full of fear and terror, and she curled up and trembled. The vehicle rushed on the road and soon drove into the underground parking lot of a luxury hotel. Jiang Xiaoxiao and the others were taken into the elevator and went to the underground floor. The elevator door opened, and shouts like a tsunami rang out. The entire underground floor was transformed into a huge underground black boxing arena. On the ring, two strong men were fighting naked, punching each other, and blood was splattered on the ring. In the audience, men and women in bright and beautiful clothes waved banknotes and kept cheering, tearing off their usual hypocrisy and gentleness, showing their hideous and ugly desires. Jiang Xiaoxiao and Qinglong were taken deeper into the underground arena. In a cell, the surrounding houses were densely packed with ragged, pale-faced men, women, old and young. At a glance, they were all victims who were kidnapped like Jiang Xiaoxiao. Their eyes were dull, and they didn't make any noise, as if they had lost hope in life. Sister Yingying, wake up quickly. At this time, Jiang Xiaoxiao, who was able to move a little, tore off the tape on her mouth, and with tears in her eyes, she kept shaking Qinglong's body, hoping to wake her up. Qinglong's eyes trembled slightly, and she seemed to be struggling in her sleep. Xiao. Xiao, are you okay? Gu Qingying, who was awakened, murmured weakly to Jiang Xiaoxiao. Wow, Sister Yingying, you finally woke up. I was so scared I thought. The frightened Jiang Xiaoxiao cried and threw herself into Gu Qingying's arms. Little girl, save your energy. If you continue to make noise, you will attract the guards and you will be anesthetized. A weak woman next door leaned against the wall and whispered to Xiao Xiao. Jiang Xiaoxiao leaned in Gu Qingying's arms, suppressed her voice and sobbed softly. Shoo, Miss Gu, Miss Jiang, I'm here to save you. But a translucent circular line suddenly appeared on the wall of the prison, and then the wall was pushed open like a door, and Lu Hua, the superhuman door fruit ability user, walked out of the door. It's you. Gu Qingying didn't expect that Lu Hua would come to rescue her. At the moment she was followed, she was alert and sent a message to the student union using her mobile phone. However, she didn't expect that this group of people had planned it for a long time. Now, Lu Hua, who has the ability of the door fruit, is indeed the best candidate for rescue. As soon as Gu Qingying's distress signal was sent to the student union, Qingdongqing immediately asked Lu Hua to come to the rescue. Relying on the concealment of the men fruit, Lu Hua hid under the van first, waiting for an opportunity. No time to lose. Let's go. Gu Qingying struggled to get up with the help of Jiang Xiaoxiao, and then looked at the woman who had kindly reminded her before. Don't worry, we will report the matter here to the authorities. We will definitely rescue you. The tortured woman smiled weakly. Thank you, but it doesn't matter. I know I'm dying. If you can really get out, please tell my daughter. Mom will always love her. Her name is Lu Meng. This kind of thing. Of course I have to tell her myself. Whether I live or die. If I don't meet. It will be a pity for my relatives. Lu Hua interrupted the conversation between the two, as if he had recalled the sad past. When he thought of wasting half his life, he had been like this and didn't even catch up with his parents' last meeting. He couldn't help but refute the woman's words. Don't worry, this place has been marked by me. After rescuing Miss Gu and Miss Jiang, I will come back to rescue you. I am sure that I can transfer all of you before the guards find you. Really? We are saved. Looking at the trapped people around him, looking at him with admiration, from despair to hope, Lu Hua couldn't help but pat his chest with satisfaction. Having been a gang member for most of his life, this was a feeling he had never experienced in his life. This is the feeling of responsibility. Ha! You are very confident. Who gave you the courage to make you feel that you can save them? A hoarse voice like a venomous snake came. Mysterious person wearing a mask and a red robe was standing outside the prison, staring at Lu Hua coldly. The mask has a snake pattern. You are a black-hearted society cadre. Lu Hua immediately felt like he was facing a great enemy. You are quite knowledgeable. I know you, yes, the remnant of the Liuhe gang that was eradicated, Lu Hua, right? People on the street say that you are sneaky and cunning, and you are very good at slipping away. You are nicknamed the coward, Lu Hua. Come on, I admire you very much. Join us. People like you are the most suitable to live in the dark world. The man kicked open the door of the prison and looked at Lu Hua with a playful look. Oh no, should I escape alone again or? I ignored the man's solicitation, looking around. Gu Qingying, who was weak, and Jiang Xiaoxiao, who was trembling but pretending to be calm, recalled that she was taken in by Jiang Chen, and was saved by the student union at the critical moment of life and death. Now she lives a sunny life. Isn't it what she once dreamed of? Lu Hua took out a dagger and protected them in front of them. Before, I had no choice. Now, I want to be a good person. Lu Hua looked serious. The figure quickly jumped up, and a knife slashed the masked man's face. What a pity. Remember my name, the one who killed you, the Black Heart Society, is Rattlesnake. That he took Lu Hua's knife-wielding arm with one hand, and threw Lu Hua against the wall with a huge force. For a moment, the wall and stones fell one after another. Lu Hua. Take Xiao Xiao away. I'll stop him. Picking up the sharp stone on the ground, Gu Qingying stabbed it into her arm fiercely. The severe pain allowed her to recover her spirit to overcome the effect of the drug. Shut up. Hide behind. Lu Hua, with blood flowing from the corner of his mouth, stared at Rattlesnake fiercely. Don't think you are strong. I just haven't had a serious fight for many years. Chapter 85. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Head up. The red-robed man raised his finger. The weak should behave like a weak person. That he kicked the broken stone and flicked his finger, and the stone shot towards Lu Hua like a bullet. Lu Hua closed his eyes tightly, his face flushed, and beads of sweat appeared on his forehead, as if he was constantly accumulating strength. At the critical moment, Lu Hua suddenly opened his eyes, drew circles with his hands up and down, and opened an air door to cover the high-speed stone. Behind the rattlesnake, an air door also quietly emerged, and the stone shot out from the back door and hit the rattlesnake directly. With a muffled groan, the red-robed man touched his injured back, and the murderous intent under the mask came out without concealment. Very good. You angered me. The red-robed man stretched out a long whip from his sleeves and swung it lightly. Wherever the whip marks passed, the thick floor exploded. Are you angry already? How can I make you angrier? Lu Hua took a boxing stance against Rattlesnake and waved his fists continuously. Several air gates were arranged around the red-robed man. For a moment, the surging fists from the gates kept hitting the red-robed man. Caught off guard, the man was suppressed and had no power to fight back. He could only protect his head and passively defend himself. Enough. Bastard! With a roar, his body was suddenly covered with slender black spikes. The arm covered with spikes swept across and directly pierced Lu Hua's arm, and blood was dripping for a while. Rattlesnake, who had the ability of the superhuman thorn fruit, finally stopped hiding his strength. He didn't expect that Lu Hua could force him like this. Lu Hua fell to the ground in pain. The thorny monster flew forward, waving his sharp fists and beating Lu Hua continuously. Arrogant. You are just a gangster, but you dare to challenge me. The angry rattler punched Lu Hua again and again. Ahem. Weak, too weak. Do you think you are strong? Do you know who you are arresting? Jiang Chen will not let you go. You will not know how terrifying he is without personal experience. Lu Hua knelt on the ground, blood kept flowing from his mouth. There were pierced wounds all over his body. When the man heard Jiang Chen's name, a trace of panic appeared in his eyes, but it disappeared quickly. Ha ha ha, have you experienced the fear of our Black Heart Society, Jiang Chen? Your information is too outdated. Jiang Chen has long been missing in the wilderness, and his body may have been eaten clean by monsters. Impossible. My brother will not die. I saw my brother yesterday. Jiang Xiao, who was standing aside, poked her head out of Gu Qingying's arms, opened her round eyes, and angrily refuted the words of the red-robed man. Don't believe it? Go ask your sister next to you, ask her if it was really Jiang Chen she saw yesterday. Rattlesnake said in a playful tone, revealing the cruel truth and breaking other people's hopes. What an interesting thing. Jiang Xiao opened her big red eyes, stretched out her hand and gently pulled Gu Qingying's sleeve, raised her head. Sister, what the bad guy said is not true, right? Gu Qingying forced a smile, not knowing how to speak. Xiao, your brother was just delayed to deal with some things. How could he die? Gu Qingying was also a little at a loss. Jiang Chen has never appeared since he left the city. With it came the big news that is now making a lot of noise in Qincheng. The admiral and the captain-level main members of the Blood Wolf Group, one of the major forces in Qincheng, are missing in the wild. Hao Niubi, a senior official of the supervisory department responsible for supporting the monster defense line, also lost contact in the wild. For a while, the whole Qincheng was in panic, and they all thought that a terrifying monster appeared near Qincheng. Some people even spread rumors that the monster was going to besiege the city. For a while, a large number of people began to hoard food, and the goods in supermarkets and convenience stores were swept away by the crazy crowd. Behind the scenes, the profiteers all showed satisfied smiles. In recent days, there are not a few people who have escaped from Qinglong in the name of going out, visiting friends, and traveling. The official forces of the entire Qinglong, especially the military, are under great pressure. A large number of high-end combat forces have lost contact for a while, making it more and more difficult for them to hold on to the defense line. It is difficult to maintain peace at home when fighting against foreign enemies. The garrison forces in the city are constantly being seconded to the front line to make up for the lack of high-end combat forces. The public security in the city has plummeted, and the dark forces are ready to move. Even now, the Black Heart Society dares to kidnap them in broad daylight. Qinglong, who knows where Jiang Chen is going, naturally knows that these two news must be related to Jiang Chen. Now that Jiang Chen has disappeared with them, she is also uneasy. Is my brother really missing? Jiang Xiaoxiao's eyes were immediately filled with tears when she noticed that Qinglong's tone was wrong. Don't cry, Xiaoxiao, Jiang Chen will be fine. Don't worry about this anymore. I'll hold him and the two of you and run away. Try your best. Lu Hua hugged the red-robed man and tied him up tightly. He ignored the thorns piercing his body and opened a long-distance space channel with one hand at a speed far beyond the usual speed. Keep running after entering. Don't stop. Looking at the channel that Lu Hua, who was spitting blood, had opened with his life, Qinglong and Jiang Xiaoxiao were suddenly filled with sadness. Qinglong bowed to Lu Hua, turned around and took Jiang Xiaoxiao into the channel, and kept running forward in the twisted channel. For these two unrelated women. Are you worth it? Let go. I won't kill you. The red-robed man who struggled to get out of the way tried to persuade him softly, but his hands did not stop moving. The thorns on his body kept shrinking and expanding, constantly attacking Lu Hua's body. Blood was pouring down like rain. My life has long been worthless. Didn't you say I was a coward? Today I'll show you. The power of a coward. Ahem. Lu Hua, whose entire mouth was stained with blood, smiled at the rattlesnake. His red front teeth were so dazzling in the eyes of the rattlesnake. Let's have a bet and see if Jiang Chen will die. If I lose, I will die like an ant today. If I win, all of you Black Heart Society will be buried with me, a coward. Ha ha ha. Madman. An inexplicable chill filled the rattlesnake's heart, as if the sword of Damocles was hanging above his head. Jiang Chen can't possibly be alive. Kill you. The space channel of your fruit ability will naturally collapse. Everything can still be saved. In the transparent and twisted channel, the two ran forward breathlessly. Not far ahead, a hole was constantly releasing white light. Xiao, keep trying. The end is just ahead. Suddenly, the whole passage shook violently, and a bad premonition filled Qinglong's heart. Sure enough, the next moment, the entire space passage began to collapse from back to front. Qinglong, who was still a little weak, picked up Jiang Xiaoxiao and used her last strength to sprint towards the exit. Sister Yingying. Will that uncle die? No, everyone will survive. The passage behind her continued to collapse at a very fast speed, and soon spread to not far from Qinglong, whose body was paralyzed by the strong effect of the drug, was unstable for a while and stumbled to the ground. Xiao, sister can't accompany you anymore. The exit is right there. After you go out, tell your brother Qingdongqing about what happened here, and he will know what to do. Weak Qinglong pushed Xiao forward with force. I have already planned to face death alone. If the passage collapses, she will most likely return to the starting point. With the brutality of the Black Heart Society, I am afraid that I will have no chance of survival. Qinglong looked sad, and couldn't help but recall the day when she first met Jiang Chen. The high-spirited boy stepped on the loser's head and stretched out his hand to her. Hey, little girl. Follow me. The sun was very dazzling that day, and Jiang Chen was set off by the sun like a god. Qinglong, who was bruised all over, couldn't help but squint her eyes. They are obviously 18 years old, but they are always used to calling others boys and girls. Gu Qingying smiled, took out the hairpin behind her head and held it tightly in her palm, and her black hair fell to her shoulders. At this moment, I should be considered a useful person, be that person's warrior, and experience failure with him. Sister Yingying. Jiang Xiaoxiao, who was so scared that she cried, forced herself to hold back her fear and ran back with her little legs, dragging Gu Qingying and running towards the white light not far away, looking at the space that was getting closer and breaking. She was so scared that tears burst out, her small body burst out with a rare force beyond her physical limit, dragging the weight of an adult and running wildly. Woo woo. Sister Yingying, I've thought about it. They are here to target my brother. I will definitely not die if I am caught. Sister Yingying, I will send you out. Stop. Xiao, don't. Gu Qingying panicked and wanted to stop Jiang Xiaoxiao's behavior, but it was useless. Seeing that the space was about to swallow the two of them, Jiang Xiaoxiao threw it with all her strength. Aya successfully threw Gu Qingying into the white light. In the end, Gu Qingying only saw the air door shining with white light suddenly shattered, and Jiang Xiaoxiao's helpless figure and tear-stained cheeks disappeared together. Chapter 86. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Prison. Lu Hua fell to the ground dying, his pulse occasionally beating proved that he was still alive. Jiang Xiaoxiao fainted on the ground, blood oozing from her mouth and nose. That was the injury caused by the broken passage and the compression of air. Rattlesnake wiped the blood stains on the whip, looked at Jiang Xiaoxiao lying on the ground calmly and breathed a sigh of relief. Although there were some accidents in the process, the goal was achieved smoothly. Sir, do we really want to attack Jiang Chen's family? A subordinate looked at Rattlesnake with concern. Lu Hua's previous crazy scene was still vivid, and the threatening words made him feel a little scared. Jiang Chen is now a hot figure in Qingqing, defeated by Qingxiu, who had the ability of natural fruit, and became the #1 prodigy in Qingqing. Injured the eldest son of the Hao family, was arrogant and domineering, and did whatever he wanted, but the Hao family didn't even say a word in public. They killed the cadres of the Blood Wolf Group, a powerful force in Qingqing, and are still safe and sound. Any of the above forces is not weaker than the Black Heart Society, or even stronger. Is it really necessary to provoke such an enemy? Enough. He is just a genius whose life and death are unknown. How can my Black Heart Society be afraid of him? Qingqing #1 Middle School, Infirmary. Gu Qingying was lying unconscious on the hospital bed, her face pale. Qingdongqing and other student union cadres surrounded her, smoking and puffing, with gloomy faces. Brother Cheng. That Lao Mozi Black Heart Society is simply too much. They kidnapped Sister Gu and the President's sister in broad daylight. Brother Cheng, everyone is waiting for your orders. Now that Jiang Chen is missing and Gu Qingying is in a coma, Qingdongqing is the most powerful in the entire student union, and naturally becomes the new speaker of the student union. Qingdongqing blew out a smoke ring. It's always us who bully others. When the president is not here, any cat or dog dares to jump out. Gather the brothers. We must save the president's sister today even if we risk our lives. Brother Cheng, the Black Heart Society is quite powerful. Do you want to wait a few more days until President Jiang comes back before making plans? Wait. Wait for Jiang Xiaoxiao to die. Who do you think I am? This battle, we must win. We must fight even if we can't win. Qingdongqing spit out the cigarette on the ground and stepped hard. 2 veins on his eyebrows popped out and his eyes were full of murderous intent. Yes. Brother Cheng. We all listen to you. In a prison in the underground base of the SA contracting organization, 2 jailers were dragging a little girl covered in scars to the deepest prison. The 2 men were lightly moving and nervously looking at the darkness ahead. One of them seemed to step on a hard object, making a small clicking sound. Shoo. Keep your voice down. You want to kill us, right? If we wake up the imprisoned evil spirit, he will go crazy and we might end up with our heads and bodies torn apart. It's a mistake. It's not that exaggerated. Since the last incident, I heard that the evil spirit has been nailed all over his body with steel nails. He can't even move. Hehe, do you know why the jailers on our floor are replaced so quickly? Because they have the same thoughts as you before they die. Don't forget the ability of the evil spirit. A mythical beast species that is rarer than the natural type. Bat fruit mythical beast species vampire form. Don't say anything, throw this little girl in, and leave quickly. The two jailers wished they had an extra leg. After pushing the little girl into the prison and locking the door, they immediately ran away. In the darkness, a young man opened his scarlet eyes, and his body was wrapped in iron chains. Each of his limbs was pierced by 4 thick steel nails, and his scapula was hooked by an iron hook. Even his mouth was covered by a thick iron sleeve. That young man was Fong Rong. Since being controlled by the SA contracting organization, Fong Rong was forced to live a life of being dissected and experimented. The powerful vitality of the fantasy beast and the specific recovery ability of the vampire fruit made him a hot experimental subject in the entire laboratory. In order to prevent Fong Rong from dying, the organization also continuously transported blood to maintain his vitality. How could the unwilling Fong Rong be willing to become a beast-like existence? Strong willpower and a strong desire for revenge supported him to survive, and secretly used the fruit ability to intercept the power in the blood and hide it in his body. Whenever the accumulation was uncontrollable, Fong Rong would turn into a demon. Even if the body was controlled, he could still control the blood to turn into a revenge blade. He killed people at critical moments several times, and has slaughtered nearly 100 experimental personnel so far. The SA contracting organization loves and hates him. Such a rare and perfect experimental subject made them unable to bear the heart to eradicate it. At the same time, in order to maintain Fong Rong's life, they had to continue to supply blood, and the blood would be intercepted and stored by Fong Rong, and finally reproduce the murder scene. As a result, the SA personnel at the bottom now have a fear of Fong Rong. No one knows when Fong Rong will go crazy next time, and who will be the next victim. Like a time bomb, it always hangs in everyone's mind. If the prison is not overcrowded now, the two jailers don't want to get close to Fong Rong's room. The name of the evil god has also spread throughout the organization. Jiang Xiaoxiao woke up from a coma and saw a strange man with scarlet eyes and trapped all over his body looking at her up and down. For a while, she screamed and curled up in the corner of the wall in fear, and then suddenly realized her situation. It seems that she is imprisoned like the weirdo. Hello, are you also kidnapped? Jiang Xiaoxiao asked weakly. Fong Rong nodded silently. It seems that she was also a person who was deceived by the Black Heart Society. Such a little girl is now in the hands of the SA contracting organization. Her future is doomed. Fong Rong has seen too many tragedies. How many days can this little girl last? Well, maybe dying early is a relief. At least it is much happier than living in the experiment without daylight. Kid, do you know where this is? This is the exclusive dungeon of the laboratory. Everyone imprisoned here faces the risk of being dissected and injected with unknown reagents, and then suddenly died. This kind of pain is not something a teenager like you can bear. You are afraid. Well, if you are afraid. If you are afraid, I can let you die in my hands without pain first. Fong Rong did not say this, he was waiting for Jiang Xiaoxiao's answer. Everyone has the right to decide their own destiny. Fong Rong respects her choice. After all, this is the only kindness that Fong Rong can still maintain under long-term torture. If she is willing, Fong Rong can force the little power in his body to send her to rest. I'm not afraid. My brother will definitely come to save me. My brother is the pride of our family. He will definitely save me. Fong Rong saw the so-called illusory hope from the trembling and desperate body of the little girl. When you are most desperate, do you think of your closest person? Of course, my brother is definitely my closest person. Fong Rong looked up, with 2 lines of blood and tears in his scarlet eyes. Yes, when people are desperate, who wouldn't think that the person they love most will come to save them? Sister, at that time, were you also looking forward to me? A sad mood permeated the entire prison, and Jiang Xiaoxiao looked at the heartbroken boy and spoke involuntarily. Big brother, are you sad? How wonderful. You still have your thoughts and your brother, but I have lost my loved ones and am now alone. Big brother, don't always focus on what you have lost. Lost things will never come back. My brother is very powerful. He will come to save me and he will definitely save you. People must look forward. Like me, when I was a child, my parents always left all the delicious and fun things for my brother, and used all the money they earned to help my brother improve himself. At that time, I was so envious and sad. I felt that life could not be more difficult than this, but now I am very happy. My parents treat me very well, and my brother loves me very much. Fang Rong frowned and listened to Jiang Xiaoxiao's story. He couldn't help but interrupt. He didn't understand. Your parents are so partial to your brother, why do you still feel happy? Are you willing? Why not? My parents work very hard, I am very stupid, but my brother is a genius. As long as my brother is trained, our family can live a good life. Facts have proved that my parents are right. My brother is a real genius. What a pity, I was thinking that I could use the power of others to bully others in the future, but I didn't expect to be caught here. After saying this, Jiang Xiaoxiao's expression also became a little depressed. Doesn't your brother look down on you? After all, he is a genius, and you are just a useless sister. After all, aren't geniuses so unruly, arrogant, and look down on everyone? Why do you look down on me? We are relatives, and my brother loves me so much. Obviously, Jiang Xiaoxiao, in her little head, could not understand the question raised by Fang Rong, how could the word relatives look down on relatives? But it pierced Fang Rong's already broken heart like a knife. Yes, even a child understands this principle, why can't I understand it? I'm glad to hear your advice. Your name is Xiao Xiao, right? Don't worry, as long as I live, God, you will be fine. If I die, I will not let you live alone. Ah! Why are you so scary when you talk? On the other side, Qinglong and a group of cadres from the student union, with many younger brothers, marched towards the last place given by Gu Qingying before she fainted, Qingchen, a famous five-star hotel, Fenga Hotel. The security guard at the door of the hotel, smoking a cigarette, squinting at a group of young people dressed in student clothes with unfriendly faces in front of him. Get out. This is not a place for you poor people to come. Get out of here. Why are you pretending to be a gangster here? Do you know whose territory this is? Qinglong stepped forward and pinched the cigarette out of the security guard's mouth. Be careful with your words in the next life. Before the security guard could react, Qinglong hit the security guard's chest with a fierce knee kick. With a puff, the security guard vomited blood and suddenly lost consciousness. Chapter 87. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The security guard vomited blood and fell heavily to the ground, breathing out more than breathing in. If he was still conscious, he swore that if he was given another chance, he would never pretend again. Qinglong looked at the other security guard who was holding a baton and trembling. Before Qinglong could speak, Wang Anhai, an experienced security guard, had already consciously opened the electronic door, put away the baton in his hand, whistled, turned his head to the side, and ignored the large number of people from the student union. Seeing that the security guard was so sensible, Qinglong stopped talking nonsense and rushed into the building with his men to the basement. The situation in the basement is complicated. Everyone acts separately. Keep in touch at any time. At Qinglong's order, the students of the student union dispersed and began to search continuously. Wang Anhai, the security guard at the door, was shaking his legs and dragged the seriously injured and dying security guard lying on the ground into the security room. New here, so reckless. You want to die, don't you know, you almost killed me. We as security guards must judge the situation. Wang Anhai couldn't help but feel lucky that his rich security experience saved him again. No, the more important the place, the more dangerous it is. I can't stay in this hotel anymore. I resign. I must resign. I want to go back to Bishuiyuan community and continue to be my 5-star general. At the same time, I silently recited the 3 security principles I summarized in my heart. 1. Shut up the ignorant owners. Point 2. Catch the lone deliverman. Point 3. Get away from the criminals. Just as he was reciting silently, a guy riding a motorcycle and wearing a full-body delivery uniform came to him in a hurry. Lao dang. I'll go up to deliver a takeaway and come down soon. My ghost fire won't be stolen if I leave it here. Wang Anhai looked up and down at the lone deliverman, with a slight smile on his face. What a coincidence, isn't it? What's missing? Don't worry, this is a 5-star hotel. I'm a professional in security. That are you full? The delivery man happily handed Wang Anhai a cigarette, took the delivery safely, and went upstairs in the elevator, without even taking out the key from the ghost fire. Security guard Wang Anhai was secretly delighted. The group of people dressed as students who came with a fierce momentum and were not good people would definitely cause violence here. As a professional security guard, he must always escape from danger. After packing up his own and the seriously injured and dying security guard's personal belongings, Wang Anhai turned over and rode away on the ghost fire motorcycle. Hey, looking at the ghost fire under him, Wang Anhai smiled. It's not bad to deliver food part-time. When the time comes, he will be a security guard to stop the delivery man during the day, and deliver food and scold the security guard at night. The main thing is to make a lot of money. Underground black boxing arena. A large number of student union members poured in, which did not attract the attention of tourists in the audience, but was also watched by the insiders of the boxing match wearing black clothes and sunglasses. Ren Qianqing, you and I will wait for an opportunity to enter the interior. Zhang Wei, Lu Zibu, you will be responsible for causing a commotion outside to divert their attention. That with Qingdongqing's order, Zhang Wei immediately pretended not to notice and bumped into a man in black. Then he got furious and punched and kicked him directly. You don't have eyes, you bumped into me. That the man in black was confused, and he was furious when he saw the guest who was blaming him. He fought with him desperately. Soon the fight between the two attracted the attention of Funga's internal staff. People in black kept gathering around, and many student members also approached with eager eyes. Asshole. Underground boxing matches are not a place for a kid like you who hasn't even grown all his hair yet to act wild. I knew these guys were holding back when they came in. Catch them all. That a leader of the black-clad men looked at Zhang Wei and the student union members who were staring at him with greed in his eyes. It would be impolite not to catch these people who came to provoke us. They can all be sold for a good price. Ha, catch me. Be careful not to break your big teeth. Brothers. Come on. Lu Zibu took the lead in a sneak attack. His body shook for a while, and with a spin, countless black and white feathers like steel needles shot around. For a while, many black-clad men were hit directly, their faces and bodies were covered with chicken feathers, they rolled on the ground in pain, wailing everywhere. The student union members came prepared, and they drew their weapons in their arms, baseball bats, machetes, and the sound of chopping and killing was everywhere. The unarmed black-clad man was unable to react for a moment and was beaten back step by step. Okay. You guys are playing like this, right? Quickly notify the headquarters. These people are well prepared. Request support. That the leader of the black-clad men was kicked away by Lu Zibu before he could finish his words. Hey! Being distracted during a fight is not a good habit. Lu Zibu took the posture of a rock spreading its wings and rushed towards the leader, waving his hands. Birdman! Are you looking for death? Spitting out the blood in his mouth, the leader of the black-clothed men looked at LV Zibu angrily, with a black iron-level aura. Yo, uncle, how old are you? You are still in the black iron-level TSK, no way, you don't even have a fruit. So what? My decades of boxing skills are not practiced in vain. I can beat you, a self-righteous genius, to death without any students. It's just a matter of time. My life is harder than you think. LV Zibu laughed mockingly, the black-clothed leader's veins bulged, and he punched and fought with LV Zibu. The two sides immediately hit each other with fists and claws, punching each other, exchanging injuries. Qinglong and Ren Qianqing looked at each other, and while the guard was attracted, they quickly entered the backstage of the boxing arena. After walking a few steps, a man dressed in a red robe, a black heart mark, and a faceless mask quietly stopped in the middle of the passage, with his hands behind his back, as if he had been waiting for a long time. Ever since Lu Hua let that woman go, I knew something would happen here sooner or later. Sure enough, I found you. A cold voice came from the red-robed man's mouth. You are the rattlesnake, one of the Black Heart Society cadres mentioned by Xiaoying. Qinglong and Ren Qianqing looked heavy-faced, and it seemed that a tough battle was inevitable. Brother Cheng, you go first, leave this to me. Ren Qianqing drew his sword expressionlessly, holding the sword in one hand and the scabbard in the other, standing horizontally in front of Qinglong. Hold on first. Qinglong, who knew that saving people was important, quickened his pace and ran from another path. Want to leave? Both of you will die. Rattlesnake's thorns burst out all over his body, and he ran to stop Qinglong. Ichideo Lu Yen Fan. As the sword flashed, Ren Qianqing turned the hilt and chopped at the rattlesnake, but the rattlesnake whipped it away. Just as he was about to chase, his left arm was pierced by a long sword. But behind him, Ren Qianqing turned his back to the rattlesnake and stabbed it with the long sword. Unfortunately, his move was not good. If it was 10 centimeters off, it might have directly pierced the rattlesnake's heart. Chapter 88. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Looking at the tip of the knife emerging from his arm, Rattlesnake was sweating profusely, and felt the threat of death for the first time in his heart. How is it possible? I clearly slapped you away. According to inertia, you should have fallen hard in the distance. Frog in the well, have you ever heard of ancient martial arts? Swallow return. Ren Qianqing drew his sword and turned to be on guard. This move violated his own inertia. After sprinting forward, he forced his opponent to return at a high speed and stab, and the purpose was to catch the opponent off guard. However, the consumption was also great. The pain of muscle tearing made his body a little overwhelmed for a while. He thought he could kill Rattlesnake with a single blow of Swallow return, but he didn't expect that he was not well trained and arrogant. Sweat beads appeared on Ren Qianqing's face, and his hands holding the sword trembled slightly. How could it be an ancient martial arts? Shouldn't this be the second-year line that you blind Heba shouted? As a cadre of the Black Heart Society, Rattlesnake has seen too many battles. Countless people have developed cool and domineering names of moves by combining their magical fruit abilities or half-baked physical skills. Moreover, young people like Ren Qianqing are even more so. They can call the action of drawing a sword as the sword-cutting sword-drawing technique. I didn't expect that I would actually encounter ancient martial arts at this time. Impossible, how can you be ancient martial arts? You are just a high school student. A master like you who knows ancient martial arts will definitely not be unknown. Why have I never heard of your name? If this person in Qinqing really knows ancient martial arts, his reputation will definitely not be inferior to Jiang Chen and Bai Qingshu. Because they all possess power that ordinary people cannot possess. Whether it is domineering, natural fruit abilities, or ancient martial arts, once discovered, it will definitely cause shock. Country bumpkin, there are still many things you don't know. Ren Qianqing flicked his sword, repelling the bloodstains and stabbed the rattlesnake with his sword again. Ha! Don't think I'm afraid of you just because you know ancient martial arts. I was just careless. Come again. Rattlesnake, who has rich combat experience, had already seen the trembling that Ren Qianqing tried to hide. You won't feel good when you use ancient martial arts. I'll capture you and force you to tell me how to practice Yen Fan. You may continue to challenge for a higher position in the future. Rattlesnake showed a sinister smile, and looked at Ren Qianqing with greed in his eyes. If he could learn the ancient martial arts Yen Fan, he could fight for the position of a senior cadre of the Black Heart Society. The capable go up, the weak go down. This title of King Cobra. He may not be able to replace him in the future. It's just the martial arts passed down from our ancestors when our family fell into decline. Ren Qianqing held the sword in both hands, standing between his eyes, concentrating on the sword shining with cold light. Rattlesnake saw that Ren Qianqing was staring at the sword and ignored him. His anger burned again. He narrowed his eyes. Boy! Do you think you can defeat me by hurting me? Don't be so naive. No, on the contrary, you are very strong, so I am not sure of winning, so, I can only fight. I will finish you with one full move. Rattlesnake sneered, since you know I am very strong, why don't you hand over the ancient martial arts, and I will let you go. How can family martial arts be taught to others privately? You are almost dead, and you are still talking about this? What's the use? Since you know you can't beat me. The weak should have the awareness of the weak. Rattlesnake spikes all over his body surged, and the fine and dense spikes covered his whole body, as if he was wearing a set of anti-armor. Humph, you little brat. Now, I wonder if your sword dares to cut me. Ren Qianqing concentrated his mind and stared at the sword in his hand, sweat dripping from his face. This scene was undoubtedly a sign of fear in the eyes of Rattlesnake. With a smile on his face, he rushed towards Ren Qianqing even faster. Sir! Have you heard of it? One sword cuts through the world. Chapter 89. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The flash of a knife and whip flashed by. The two figures crossed and crossed. Both sides stood still for a long time, and Ren Qianqing, who was holding a knife in both hands, suddenly knelt on the ground, and the sword in his hand broke. The whole person suddenly spurted out a mouthful of blood, and was seriously injured. His face was pale and his expression was painful. On the other side, Rattlesnake stood there, muttering. Good swordsmanship. People like you can never be unknown. Who are you? Just a descendant of a declining family. You can also call me the descendant of the demon sword. Demon sword? Such a familiar name. There is such a group of people, they are the most unique existence in this world, without devil fruits, no special abilities, but relying on the sword skills that have been tempered for thousands of times and the powerful domineering forged through countless deadly battles to rank among the top strongmen. Because they use weapons such as swords, they are called sword masters by the world. The swords in their hands were also transformed into black knives under the powerful domineering aura and became famous magic weapons. Among them, the strongest black knife was even named the Supreme Big Fast Knife. And there are 12 such magic weapons in total. If the weak get it, they can defeat the weak. Today, the most famous Supreme Big Fast Knife in the world is the magic weapon wooden horse and ox in the hands of Li Chungang, one of the 8 wonders in the world. It is said to be so magical that it has no box or sheath, and it is always bright in the dark room at night. The 3-foot wooden horse and ox can defeat all the soldiers in the world. And the magic weapon that dares to be called the magic sword seems to be the only one in history, the Lingshuang sword. Those with a righteous heart can save the people and turn death into life. Those with an evil heart will bring disaster to the world. Because most of those who get it are evil-minded and kill a lot, it is called the magic sword by the world. There is a family that has been guarding the Lingshuang sword for generations, also known as the Demon Sword Clan. Unfortunately, I heard later that the Demon Sword Clan fell into decline. The Lingshuang sword was coveted by the strong, the Demon Sword Clan was tragically wiped out, and the whereabouts of the Lingshuang sword has been unknown since then. Yes, it's the one you think of, the Lingshuang sword. My family has guarded it for generations. Unfortunately, the innocent man is guilty of possessing the treasure. The thing that has no power to protect eventually became the root of the family's destruction. Ren Qianqing spoke lightly, as if he was telling something that had nothing to do with him. So, is that so? It's not unfair to lose to a descendant of a once great family like you. Rattlesnake said the last sentence, and then a line of blood came out from his forehead from top to bottom. The whole person was instantly split in two. Blood splattered. Ren Qianqing collapsed to the ground, breathing heavily. It is not known whether it is good or bad to expose strength today. Most magic weapons are spiritual, and choosing a master is a standard feature. The Lingshuang sword is more complicated. According to legend, if you want to get the recognition of the Lingshuang sword, you must get the blood of the descendants of the demon sword. This is also the reason why Ren Qianqing's family hid from place to place and wandered in this third-tier small city. His parents have been telling him since he was a child that he must not reveal his martial arts roots in the eyes of outsiders, and be careful of killing himself. Ren Qianqing sighed, and now he broke the precepts, and he didn't know whether it was good or bad, but seeing that the innate energy of his own peerless martial arts was now collected by various universities, he felt unwilling in his heart. The teachings of his parents echoed in his ears. Child, bear it for a while, for the family. For the continuation of blood. For the inheritance. But, since you can't use it, why teach me? Dad, Mom, I don't want to live like this for so many years. I'm so tired. This time, I want to live for myself. Stop, forget, and follow the wind, walk, watch, and be calm. The love between men and women can't trap the chivalrous spirit of young people. I want to be happy with my revenge. I want to come and go freely. There are many monsters in the world, but who can compare with President Jiang Chen? This time, let me bet my life on him. On a rainy night, at the door of a luxurious club house, who was drunk, got into the car with the help of the bodyguard. The driver drove Hauser on the cold and rainy road towards the villa area. Why is it so cold today? Master, this is probably a late spring cold. After all, it's the plum rain season now. The bodyguard sitting next to the car smiled flatteringly and asked the driver to close the doors and windows. Master, you drank a lot today. There must be some happy event. Humph. Jiang Chen. We designed to kill him. Now there is probably no trace of him left. How can I not be happy? I am really too happy. That house was drunk and lying on the chair, laughing wildly. Ever since Jiang Chen cut off a finger, he has been living in anger all the time. But Jiang Chen was so powerful that even his own family was afraid of him. Choose to settle the matter openly. Painful and desperate, it is difficult to avenge. This also made Haosei almost live in the shadow of Jiang Chen during that time. But now all this has come to an end with Jiang Chen's disappearance. Congratulations, young master. The great revenge has been avenged. Suddenly the vehicle braked suddenly, and the wheels were smoking. Everyone in the car suddenly staggered, and Haosei stumbled and hit his head heavily on the front seat. Damn driver! Are you looking for death? Young master, I'm sorry, it's really that a figure suddenly appeared in front of me, and I didn't have time to react. I don't want to hear nonsense. Come on, mix this person in a cement bucket and sink him into the river tomorrow. No. Young master, in the middle of the road in the distance, a man in black with a straw raincoat and a sword in his arms was standing in the middle of the road with his head down. Chapter 90. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The black-clothed man wearing a bamboo hat exuded a murderous aura. The bodyguard next to Haosei stuck his head out of the window and angrily sprayed at the black-clothed man. Who are you? Dare to stop our Hao family's car? Are you looking for death? Qingcheng is a small place. Find out who the father is. The black-clothed man smiled with a sword in his hand, and the cold wind lifted his silver-white hair. His cold eyes revealed a momentum that no one in the world could compete with him. Dead people don't need to remember my name. You talk more arrogantly than me. I guess you are the eldest son of the Hao family, Haosei. The bodyguard was stunned and was about to scold Qingxian for being blind and not recognizing the real man, but he saw Haosei, who was beside him, sobered up and hinted to the bodyguard to pretend his identity with a serious face. The bodyguard understood and immediately stuck his head out of the window again. That's right. I am your grandfather, Haosei. Get out of the way if you know what's good for you. Otherwise. Before the bodyguard finished speaking, the man in black grabbed the hilt of the sword in an instant. Unsheathed. Sheathed. All in one go. In an instant. The unstoppable silver-white sword light flashed across a distance of dozens of meters. the luxury car was instantly cut in half. The bodyguard's head sticking out of the window was directly cut off by the sharp sword energy. Blood gushed out of his neck like a fountain. On his head, there was still an expression of pretending to be cool and not satisfied. The hot blood directly soaked Housei, who was standing aside, and the driver in front had already been cut in half with the car. Housei was frightened and hadn't reacted yet. Seeing that the cut car was about to explode, the bodyguard in the car behind pulled Housei out and rolled him into the grass on the downhill side of the road. In just 1 second, the car exploded violently. It illuminated the night sky. Qinglong, who was not far away, shook his head arrogantly, as if showing a disdainful expression. If you only have this much strength, I really can't understand, what qualifications do you have to be his enemy? I will only kill the chief culprit. Killing you bunch of garbage is meaningless, let's go. After saying that, Qinglong turned around and prepared to leave. Housei, who was covered in dust, shook his dizzy head. 4 or 5 bodyguards from another car came down and protected Housei. Master. Are you okay? Master, you are not injured. I'm glad that Master Housei is okay. Housei, who was standing aside, had a black line on his face. You bunch of bastards, you wish I would die soon, right? Stop talking. Stop talking about me being the young master. Are you guys just waiting for me to die? House gnashed his teeth and lowered his voice to the bodyguard beside him. The bodyguards were shocked when they heard the words, and they all stood up straight immediately. At the same time, the slogans rang out in unison. Yes. Young master, we were wrong. Please punish us. After that, House's face turned pale, and the killer came back again. Sure enough, Qinglong, who had not walked far, turned back again, and the murderous aura on his body was condensed like substance. How brave. You guys are really good at playing. Feeling humiliated, Qinglong lifted her silver white hair and stared at House and others. Master. Let's talk it out. We are strangers, and killing people is just for money and sex. I have money. A lot of money. So, how much money does your employer pay you? I'll pay double. House stretched out 2 fingers and gestured to Qinglong. The situation was stronger than the person. The person on the opposite side could make a slash with a wave of his hand. He must be a powerful swordsman. The group of crooked melons and jujubes under his command could never be his opponent. Now he had to delay time and wait for rescue. House was professional in this. Damn it, who is plotting against me behind my back? House whispered with a ferocious face, reaching into the mobile phone in his trouser pocket, and madly blindly typed a message for help. A bodyguard saw this scene, understood it, showed a smart look, and immediately stepped forward and shouted at Qinglong. I don't care who you are. Who assigned you? The young master is now protected by us. If you know what's good for you, just do what the young master wants. It's good for you, me, and everyone else. Otherwise, our young master has sent a distress signal. The masters of our Hao family will be here soon. When that happens, you won't be able to escape. After saying that, he showed a very capable expression to Housei. I am so loyal, it will be difficult for me not to get promoted in the future. Housei looked at this bodyguard with hatred. Qinglong snorted coldly after suddenly realizing it. There is no point in struggling. Qinglong shook his arms and shattered the raincoat on his body. He rushed towards the group of bodyguards with a knife. The sword light like the bright moon shines in the crowd. The strange and ethereal figure keeps flashing in the crowd. The group of bodyguards couldn't catch Qinglong's figure at all, and blood bloomed in the crowd for a while. Iron. A bodyguard used his strongest martial arts, but was instantly killed by Qinglong. You piece of iron. You only care about your head and not your butt. In a panic, Housei pulled out a large caliber pistol from his waist and fired at Qinglong. 7 steps away, the gun is fast. Within 7 steps, the gun is accurate and fast. Die for me. 9 Flying Dragon Styles. A cold voice sounded, and Qinglong arrived first, crossing a distance of dozens of meters in one step. Draw the sword and sheath it. The barrel in Haosei's hand was directly split into two and fell to the ground. Qinglong leaned down, holding the knife and sheath against Haosei's waist and spoke lightly. Brother Jiang Chen asked me to tell you a message. Misfortunes caused by heaven can be forgiven, but misfortunes caused by oneself cannot be forgiven. Don't hurt my grandson. An old man came running from a distance. Unfortunately, he was a step too late. Qinglong drew his sword, and the sword flashed. Sword drawing technique.